guys, how are you doing today? This is HeyJay Stylexio and welcome to my channel. If you're enjoying the content you're getting on this channel, please smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe. If you're new to the channel, just hit the red button down. Well, today we'll be learning how to make our princess panel blouse. Yes, princess panel blouse. I'm sure you'll be looking forward to that. So learn how to make our princess panel blouse, and we actually have different types: the off-shoulder type, the one from the shoulder with different type of cuts. So we're learning the basic one that can go for almost everybody. So join me on the work table while I show you how to go about it. So while making our princess panel coat, we start first by constructing our basic bodice blouse. So this is how we do it. So we'll start by drafting our basic bodice. So let's go. First of all, you take your neck, standard neck measurement, the wideness of 3 inches and then depth of 6 inches. But you can choose to use any neck of your choice. It can be V-neck, it can be sweetheart neck, it can be canoe neck, whatever neck of your choice. I want to use round neck. So this is how, okay, let me just tell you how to do the round neck. If you don't have a French curve, you just come down by 1 inch on the vertical line and then 1 inch on the horizontal line. Then you might just take 1 or 1.5 at the angle 90. This is the angle 90, and just connect it. So this is how you can do your round neck without a French curve. Your French curve is very easy to do it. So take your round neck, then take your shoulder measurement divided by 2. For taking your body's measurements, you can check the video on how to take your body measurement. You see how to take your shoulder. So take your shoulder measurement, divide by 2. For this person, the shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2 is 8 inches. Then plus half. So always add half. Whatever your measurement is, when you divide by 2, always add half. Then the shoulder is not straight, it's slanted. So on this half, you come down by 1 inch. Then you connect it to the neck. So this is our shoulder. And this is our neck. And we use the round neck. So then the next measurement we take is our armhole depth. So you put your tape around your armhole to get your armhole circumference. Divide whatever value you get by 2, and that is your armhole depth. So for this person, the armhole depth is 8 inches. So I just mark 8 inches. Then connect it to the shoulder. Then on this, then wherever the armhole stops, I'll just rule a line there. You can call it chest line, some people call it bust line, but this is not the actual bust line. So me, I normally call it chest line. Then on this line now, you can take your bust measurement. That's why some people call it bust line. Take your bust measurement, then add ½ inch to it, because your bust is actually not starting from here. Your bust is not starting directly under your armhole. It's starting on beneath it. So this ½ inch is for any extra. So the person's bust measurement is 9.5 plus half is 10 inches. So this is the person's bust. So I'll just make, then on this line, take the midpoint of this line. This is 8 inches. The midpoint is 4 inches. On the midpoint, go in by ½ inch. And then connect with your French curve. Or if you don't have a French curve, let me still tell you how to connect with that French curve. On this angle 90, just mark 1.5. So you connect from here to this ½ inch, on this ½ inch to the angle 90, and then back to this place. But I'll be using my French curve, so just connect it. When you have your French curve, you may not need those formulas. So this is it. So this is the armhole of the Then we take our shoulder to nipple, which is the bust point. For this person is 10.5. So it's on this bust point you actually get your real exact bust measurement. So take our bust measurement. The person's bust measurement is, we can just rule the line so that it will be easy, or we can still take it without ruling. So on this line, take the bust measurement. The person's bust measurement, we said is 9.5. So now you can take the 9.5. By the time you connect it now, then you take the person's half length. You can choose to use under bust, you can choose not to use under bust. For this person, the under bust measurement is 33. So divided by, sorry, the shoulder to under bust measurement is 13.5. Sorry, so this is 13.5. Then on this 13.5, you can still roll the line. On this 13.5 line, this is the bust line, bust point line. This is the under bust UB. So on this 13.5 shoulder to under bust, on this mark now, we take the real under bust measurement. Don't forget, all these measurements we are dividing by 4. The actual measurement divided by 4 is what we are taking. So this person's under bust is 33, divided by 4 is 8.25. So this is it here. Then we'll take the person's waist measurement, which is half length. The half length is 16. So it's on this 16 now, we'll take the waist measurements. So the person's waist measurement is 34, divided by 4 is 8.5. And then the blouse length, wherever you want your blouse to stop. Okay, so we'll just use the end of this paper as blouse length. This paper stopped at 20.5, so that's what we use as a blouse length. Your blouse length can be whatever length you want. It can be from your shoulder to your hip. So on this blouse length now, we take our hip measurement because it's just a few inches shorter than the hip. And the hip measurement is 44 for this person. So divided by 4 is 11. So just mark 11. So this is basic. This is just how to make your basic blouse. So here you can just curve it like this. So this is your basic blouse pattern. So now I want to turn this pattern now. I want to add that now, not the normal that. Now I want to add our princess panel that. So to do that, so now you've constructed our basic bodice blouse. These are our waists. Don't forget to label, and these are our blouse lengths. So the next thing now to do is to take our darts. So to take your darts, to get your dart line, you put your tape on your nipple, both nipples, and then you take the distance of your nipple from this nipple to the second nipple, the distance. Whatever value you get, divide it by 2, and then add half inch to that value. So for this person, the nipple to nipple distance is 8 inches, divided by 2 is 4. So we'll be taking 4.5 mark. So just on this top here, mark 4.5. On this bottom, mark 4.5. Then connect those points together. So this is our dart line. So you can label it dart line DL if you have space. So let's get started. Pay attention, please. On your dart line, on this bust point, you go up by 1 inch and you come down by 1 inch on this bust line now. Go up by 1 inch and you come down by 1 inch. Then your under bust, whatever value you take for your under bust, you are free to take the same value for your waist, and you are still free to change the value. So whatever you want. That's why I said if you are constructing it, you can choose not to take your under bust measurement and just do your waist, and it will still be perfect. So your under bust is not a must that your under bust will be here. So you can choose to add the under bust, you can choose not to add the under bust. So for this one now, we want to make use of our under bust. So this is it. So your under bust, for someone that is very busty, you can go as far as 2 inches on both sides. And then for someone that is not busty at all, you can go for 1 inch. But yeah, I'll be doing 1.5. 1.5 is for average. If you are not sure of what busty means and what not busty means, then you can do 1.5. 1.5 is between 1 inch and 2 inches. So I'm doing the same value. I'm taking the same value on my waist. So from this center line, this dot line, I'll take 1.5 here and then 1.5 here. So in case you're enjoying this content, please click the like button, smash it. Then for your blouse, there's a basic principle for blouse, for darts for your blouse or your gown. When you're taking your dart, both normal darts, both princess darts, you take your dart on 2 inches above your dart, your hip line for the front pattern. While for the back pattern, you take it 1 inch above your hip line. Well, because this blouse is not getting to the hip, so we take it from the end point. So we connect the dart to this end point. You can also take the same 1 inch on both sides. If you do it this way, that means the bust to be pronounced, but I don't want the bust to be pronounced, so I will not take it on this side. So we took 1 inch here, 1 inch here, 1 inch here, 1 inch. That is from here, the center, here's 1 inch, here's 1 inch. The same thing here. While on the bust line, we took 1 inch above and 1 inch below. So what we do now, we connect this under bust that point to this 1 inch below. Okay, this is it. Then connect the under bust to the waist. Then connect the waist to the hip or the blouse length. I said you can also do it straight if you want. If you do it straight, that means by the time you cut it out, the bust will be more pronounced. So but I don't want it to. I just want that princess dart shape. Then on this armhole line, you mark 1/2 inch. That is this midpoint now that we took. You mark 1/2 inch or above it, 1/2 inch below it. So on this midpoint, take half down. But first of all, you connect this 1/2 and 1 inch above the bust line to this first midpoint. My marker is messing up, so please bear with me. So after connecting it on this line now, take 1 inch. It's not so complicated. Just take note of all the points I'm taking. Then you connect this 1 inch. You can take it like this straight, but to get a perfect curve, that's why I'm just using this as a guide to get a perfect curve, so you understand why it went in by 1 inch. You can decide to come straight here, it's okay, but to be pointy, you see some people wearing princess dart and then the bust is pointy as if there's a nipple there. So we don't want that pointy effect. We want it to be resting directly. So this is it. So this is the dart. This dart above now, you extend it, you take it up. You extend it. Sorry, it's the dart below you extend, not the one above. The reason why you are extending the dart is by the time you know we're cutting all this part out, and by the time you close it, if you don't extend it, the armhole length now, you know our armhole measurement, we said it's 8 inches for this person. If by the time we take this part out now, it will be smaller than 8 inches. So this extension now will cover for this part we're taking out. So that's why you extend it down, not the up. I'm sorry for that mistake. So this extended part, you just mark 1 inch on the line. So this 1 inch now, you curve a new armhole curve. Now we will not use this first curve now. We use this part to this one, and then from here now we're starting with this. So you just do a new curve from this 1 inch. Just use your French curve and then of your new armhole curve. So we will not be making use of this one again. So this is our new armhole curve. By the time we take this part out, when we join it together here now, this part will meet here. It will rest. It will cover up for this part we're taking out. So that is it. So now what you want to do now is to shaping it. So you just use your French curve now. This part now I want to shaping here into here to form the bust. So you just put a French curve. You can do it with free hand. So you place your French curve on this point and then let the same French curve rest on this line now, so that you get that perfect shape. So you try to adjust your French curve till you get what you're looking for. So this is it. Sorry, my marker So this is the bust. So you can see the bust shape, and it's perfectly curved, it's not pointy. So this is the princess dart. Then for this one, you can just curve it like this into you can just curve it into, and then this part, just make sure this pointed part, you just curve it more. So this is it. This is basically how to make your princess dart. So I'll cut this out. Okay, then before we cut, how do you add your allowance now? So because all this part now, this part will go out. By the time you sew it to be smaller, okay, look at the exact bodice measurement of this person. If I take this part out, imagine the way to be small. So how to get the exact measurement now that we are going to remove this part now. So you say for your bust line, we took 10. Then because of this dart, we took 1 inch up, 1 inch down. So we're adding, okay, for this is the chest line. We just add ½ inch to it. Then our sewing allowance, whatever inch you want to sew with, I want to sew with 1 inch plus 1 inch. So this is the mark. Then for the bust line, we took 1 inch here, 1 inch here. So we add the 1 inch. 1 inch. Our bust line, we said that our bust measurement is 9.5 plus 1, which is 10.5, plus the one now for sewing allowance, which is 11.5. Then for the under bust we said is 8.25, but we took 1 plus 1, which is 2 now, so 8.25 plus 2, which is 10.25. So we mark 10.25 because we're adding this 2 now that we're taking out. We add it to the measurement, then plus our normal sewing allowance. Now we add it in 1 inch. For our waist, the same thing. Our waist is 8.5 plus this is 1 inch, which is 2 inches. 8.5 plus 2 is 10.5. Then plus 1 inch sewing allowance, 11.5. Then for the hip, we just add ½ inch to join the 2 darts together. So we just add the hip, which is 11 plus ½ inch for the darts, then plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. So this is it. So it's this point now we join together. The shape might look awkward, but by the time you've joined the darts, you still get that perfect shape again. So there's some people, to be on the safer side, what some people do is they just cut like this. They cut it straight with this extra. Then after cutting, they join the sides. Then they start remeasuring to be sure. But with this, you are perfect. It's perfect. There will be no mistake. So you can still measure the armhole from this point. Since now the armhole has been extended to this place now, so you can just remeasure to get a final curve if you want. It's optional. You can just recurve it. So that's it. So this is our new side seam. This is the actual side seam. Then this extra one now is the sewing allowance. So this is what we sew out of it. So we cut our princess panel. I hope you're enjoying this video. Please give me a thumbs up, like it, and kindly share the video with those you know really want to watch it. You can share it on sewing books online. And if you're watching and you're yet to subscribe, please click on the subscribe button. This is the front piece. Then this part now. So you see we're taking the dart out. So you see the bust now, curviness of the bust. time you want to cut this on, by the time you join this part now, you see now by the time this one comes like this now, it will lap in. So you see it will lap in now. The armhole now will not be perfect again. So that is the reason for the extension. There was no extension. Imagine this way stopping. It would have been shorter, but now it will lap in and you still go back on the same 8 inches. Then this other part will join each other. So you get your perfect princess dart. I'll show you how to place it on fabric now if you want to place it, because I just cut it on one piece of paper. When you are cutting on fabric, you place your fabric on fold. This is the center front. So you can just see a center front, and this is the side front. So for your back, you can do your normal basic bodice back to cut your back pattern. I'll be cutting on the fabric. I'll just show you how to place it on fabric and cut. So this is how to place it. So for the center front, you just place your fabric on fold like this. Make sure it's on fold like this, right side facing each other on fold. Then you place this center here like this. So when you're cutting, make sure it aligns with the edge of the folded part of the fabric. When you're cutting the neck, you leave half inch when you're cutting to turn with lining or facing or whatever. You leave half inch or so to join the shoulder. You leave half inch on this part like this. So you're not cutting exactly like this. You measure half inch and then cut it with the half inch. Then for the down here, leave whatever allowance you want to fold the down of your blouse, as much as 1.5 to 2 inches, but on the sides just half inch. That's how you do. Therefore, this other part, so by the time you cut it, when you open it, it will be a wider front. Then for the sides, you fold it into 2 as well. Then you cut. By the time you cut, one part now will be on one side of the front, the other part will be on the other side of the front. So that is just how to make your princess. So for constructing the back bodies of a blouse with princess dart, we still take our standard neckline of 3 inches wideness, but the depth now is 1 inch or 1.5. Remember, for the front we used 6 inches. This is standard for round neck now. So just join it and then use our French curve to use our French curve where we do freehand sketch. So use your French curve and then get the neck curve. Then don't forget our shoulder measurement 8 inches. That is for 16 inches divided by 2 is 8 inches. Then you come down by 1 inch, you connect it to the neck. Then you take your armhole depth, armhole roundness divided by 2, armhole depth of this person, armhole roundness of this person is 16 divided by 2 is 8. So just connect it, then you draw this chest line or armhole line, whatever you want to call it. Let's just continue from here. So you take from here, for our front pattern, we took our shoulder to nipple point, your shoulder to where your nipple is, but for the back, we have a standard of using either 9, 9.5 or 10. So because this person is tall, I'll be using 10 inches. So it's on this 10 inches mark now, we are taking out our bust line for the back. For the back does not have a bust, but that is our guide as bust line. But for the front, we took our exact measurement from the nipple to where the bust is. We took under bust. For this back pattern, we don't need the under bust. Then for the back, say the back half length. Like I said, if you want to know how to take measurement, just go to the description box. You see the link on the first comment in the comment section, the link on how to take body measurements. I have a tutorial there. So you take your half length. In the tutorial I explained that the half length for the back is shorter than the half length for the front. So this is the waistline, this is the bust line, this is the waistline, and then this length of the paper we said we use it as the blouse length. So what we do is still same way, that principle. Take your that line, which is your nipple to nipple distance, divided by 2 plus half. This person's one is 8 divided by 2 is 4 plus half is 4 and half. So on this 4 and half mark, just mark it from up and then mark it down, then connect the points together. So basically it. So now this line now is now the guide on how to take your dart. So for your waist, you just take your dart of ½ inch, because we took 1 and half for the front because we wanted that bulgy shape of the bust, but there's no bust at the back, so we don't need that so much curve. So I'm just doing half on both sides, half for the front, half on this side, half on this side. Then on the bust point, we take it directly from the bust point. Then for the armhole, you just take the armhole, the midpoint. First of all, draw your armhole curve, as I told you before, how to draw your armhole curve. Using your French curve, you come in by ½ inch first. Sorry, then you connect it with the ½ inch, and then connect it here. And before you connect it here, you need to know the measurement of your bust. The person's bust, I said, is 9.5 plus ½ inch, because this is not the exact bust line, so it's 10. So this is the guide. So make sure it doesn't exceed this 10. Just draw your armhole. So this is it, and then you can take other measurements. So for the princess dart, this one for the back, we came like this, we didn't go straight. For the front, we came like this, we didn't go straight. So we'll do the same thing for the back. So we'll just join these points, this half to the down part. So if it's a full blouse that is getting to the hip, this joining will not get to the hip. It will stop 1 inch above the hip for the back pattern, while 2 inches above this. So let's assume that this is the hip line, that the blouse is long, and this is the hip line. This dart will not get to the hip line. For the front pattern, you mark 2 inches, so the dart will stop on that 2 inches. Then for the back pattern, you mark 1 inch, the dart will stop on that 1 inch. Because this pattern is not getting to the hip, so that's why I stopped at the edge of the paper. Then you connect here now to the bust points. And then you connect the bust point to this midpoint of the armhole. Remember, in the front pattern we went by ½ inch up, ½ inch down, but here we're not adding anything because we don't want those curves, we don't want anything. So on this line, we just extend it by ½ inch or ¼ inch. I'll do half. For the front, we extend it by 1 inch. So this extension is what we now use to get the new armhole curve now. So this is the new armhole curve, no longer this now. So this is it. So this is what I'll be cutting out. So this is just the shape. So you can just shape in here, because here is pointed now. You can just shape in it. Use your French curve. Just get a kind of shape, because we are not expecting it to be curvy, to be pointed. If there's no nipple there, and at the same time we don't want that bulge curve because there's no bust there. So this is it. This is what came out with. I'm sorry, my marker. So this is the curve. So this is just basically how to construct the princess dart at the back. Very easy. Then as usual, you take your normal measurement. So for this one, just take your bust measurement. Here you take your exact bust measurement plus 1 inch for that, and then 1 inch for sewing allowance. Let me just do it now. So my bust measurement is 9.5 plus 1 inch, that is 10.5, plus another 1 inch. This first 1 inch is for that allowance. Then the second 1 inch now is for sewing allowance. Then on the waist, took half here, half here. So half plus half is 1. So whatever measurements you have now, your waist divided by 4. My waist divided by the person's waist divided by 4 now is 8.5. This 8.5 plus this one, half plus half is 1. Plus this 1, now is 9.5. Because we're adding what we're taking out. Then plus 1 inch sewing allowance, which is 10.5. Then you take for the M, the hip. The hip is 44 divided by 4 is 11, plus half for that, then 1 inch for sewing allowance. So this is it. So you just join the points together, and this is the new allowance for the blouse. So this is the new shape for the blouse. So you can still reshaping here if you choose to. If you want it, you can still reshaping it. So this is what we'll be cutting out as our princess dart for the bag pattern. If you have any question, please just don't forget to ask. Sorry, it's supposed to cut here out first. So this one is stopping here. So this is it. This is our princess dart for the back, and then the other ones for the front. So this is just basically it. So I'm sure you enjoyed the tutorial, and I'm hoping you'll try it out and let me know the outcome. You can tag me when you make your post. You can tag me. Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is HeyJay Stylexio. I'll be dropping the ID on the comment section. So if you have any questions, you can still ask in the comment section. I'll respond to them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and please like this video. And I'll be doing a follow-up video on how to make your 6-piece blouse. So making the 6-piece blouse from our princess dart. So to be easy now, since you already know how to make your princess dart, so you just follow up with the 6-piece blouse. So watch out for that video. I'll be dropping it, so click on the notification bell to get notified so that when the video drops you will know. Have a lovely day. Bye.